In this Dragon's Dogma 2 video, we're going to be taking a look at the character creator of Dragon's Dogma and showing you some of the things you can make in the character creator. Capcom released a character creator for the game kind of as a standalone that allows you to make your character and your pawns ahead of the game's release. This is great for people who spend a lot of time during character creation and want to kind of get it like that done now so they don't have to wait until the 22nd, 21st, etc. and spend like 3-4 hours in character creation before they can even play the game. They can do that now while they're waiting and then take those characters into the game. But in this video, I want to show you guys some of the cool things that you can do with the character creator thanks to some of the creative users on Reddit. So first of all, before I get into showing you their amazing creations, you can see from the character creator that this is arguably one of the best, if not the best character creators out there. If you saw our video recently, we were speculating on a lot of this stuff. A lot of previews have come out since then, confirming a lot of the things that we knew to be true about Dragon's Dogma 1's character creator. But the character creator here is just absolutely insane. The amount of detail that you can put into your character. You can spend hours and hours and hours here really perfecting your character. And I think people are just going to love this about the game. And when we're talking about detail here, we're talking about like some things that you just do not see in other games. For instance, you can change the sheen of your hair color. Like you can make your hair shinier or less shiny. Like what game has that in it? You can change things like muscle style, muscle strength, upper muscle body mass, lower body muscle mass, upper body size and lower body size. So you can make your character look buffer or bigger with less muscle. There's just like all kinds of things you can do here to really dial into your character. And if you want to make a character that looks just like you, this is probably one of the few character creators out there that will let you get practically as close as you can get. So enough about the character creator. I know you guys love it, and I know you guys, a lot of you guys have downloaded it and you're playing it. But let me show you some of the things that people on Reddit have made, and we'll have the users up here. Credit to them for doing this. They have made like a lot of famous characters from, you know, popular game series, from popular shows, and also real world people. And it's absolutely phenomenal how close this character creator made those things. And I can't wait to show you some of these things that are absolutely outstanding. So first up, we'll show you this one. I'm sure you can figure out who this is without too much thinking. This is Kratos from God of War. Look how close to the character this looks. This is like, I feel like they actually made this character in their character creator when they designed the character creator so that you could get as close as possible. This is absolutely insane. This, if you saw a screenshot of this from far away, you would actually think this is from God of War. Like, you would not believe that this is from Dragon's Dogma. And the next character we have up on the screen should be familiar to those who have played Baldur's Gate 3 recently. This is, of course, Lysel, a very recognizable character from that game. And look how close this character looks to Baldur's Gate 3 itself. If you saw side-by-side screenshots of these characters, you would be hard-pressed to be able to tell which game, you know, which one is from which. They're so similar. It's such a good job this person did. Absolutely incredible. And how about this one? This is another one that I recognized almost immediately, but some people might not be familiar with it if they haven't played in a while. This is Nero from Devil May Cry. Look at how similar it looks to the character from those games. It's absolutely phenomenal. Again, if you saw them side by side, you might not be able to tell which game is which. Here's another one that I'm sure you guys could recognize right away. This is, of course, Geralt of Rivia. And again, look how close it looks. This one's maybe not as close as some of the ones I've showed earlier, but it's pretty damn close. And if you saw it, you know, from maybe a little bit far away, you would definitely think it was probably from The Witcher 3. It's an immediately recognizable character. You didn't need me to tell you who it was. That's obviously Geralt of Rivia. So who do you guys think this next one is? If you guys take a minute, I'm sure you can figure out who it is. It looks pretty close to him, in my opinion. A very well, you know, very good job here. This is, of course, Batman, Christian Bale. Look at how much detail this character creator has to make it so that you can actually recognize the face of a celebrity based on, you know, that character creation alone. That's just absolutely incredible. So who is this next character? It might take you guys a few minutes to figure this out. I guarantee you, once I tell you who it is, you'll be like, oh yeah, why didn't I think of that? This is, of course, Pan Am from Cyberpunk 2077, one of the main characters of that story. Probably not as famous as some of these other characters here, but very well loved in the community. And you can see there was an absolute fantastic job here done on her. It looks just like her. And how about this next one? This should be quite obvious once you look at it. This is, of course, Keanu Reeves or John Wick. The person here did a fantastic job. You can tell this is him almost immediately when looking at it. It takes you maybe a couple seconds. Absolutely fantastic job here. Look at the detail on this. Like, these are drastically different characters and you can recognize who they are, which means if you are good enough and you have enough creativity, you can make basically any character you want in this character creation, and it should look like, you know, the person that you're trying to make it look like. And how about this next one? I don't know how many people are going to get this one. Kudos to you if you did, but this is Wolf from Vinland Saga. Look how close this looks to the anime character. This person did an outstanding job. Once you see the side-by-side comparison, it becomes immediately obvious that this is this character. But until you see it, you might be wondering who it is. So on to the next one. I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to figure out who this is. And it should be recognizable from her popular role in Game of Thrones. This is, of course, Daenerys. It's a very good rendition, in my opinion. It's not exactly the same. Like the hair color is slightly different, but you can tell almost immediately once I say it that that's who the character is. Absolutely well done job here. There's a lot of people out there doing Game of Thrones characters. I've seen some Jon Snows out there. I've seen some other characters from the series. Definitely look around. There are a lot of, like, more than what we're showing here in terms of what you can do with this. And how about this one? I think people will probably get this immediately, but not believe that that's who it is. Give you a hint. So anyways, I started blasting. It's, of course, Danny DeVito. What a great job here. This looks just like Danny DeVito. Maybe if you took the glasses off, it might be a little bit more recognizable, but obviously he has glasses. Just don't think it's in that style. But that's absolutely Danny DeVito. You look at it and you're like, yeah, that's Danny DeVito. I don't have to be told that's who it is. Absolutely amazing job here. So can you guys tell who this one is? Well, if you guessed Afro Samurai, you would be correct. This is, of course, Afro Samurai from the popular manga series. Fantastic job here. You can tell who this character is almost immediately. Okay, on to the next one. Can you tell who this is? I'll give you a hint. Amber Heard took a shit on his bed. Yep, it's Johnny Depp. This is very, very recognizable in my opinion. It looks like the Pirates of the Caribbean Johnny Depp or something like that. Once I say it, you'll see it immediately. It might not be inherently obvious to some people who are not familiar with Johnny Depp, but once you say it, it's like, oh yeah, that's obviously Johnny Depp. And another really good job here. So what about this one? Can you guys guess this one? Another hint, this is another Game of Thrones character. This is Sir Bronn of Blackwater, and obviously, if you put the character next to it, you can tell this is him immediately. Not everyone has seen Game of Thrones, so this might be a less recognizable character to some people, but once you see the side-by-side and you're aware, it's obvious that this is him. And what about this character? Can you tell who this is? Anyone out there play Baldur's Gate 3 recently? This is, of course, Shadowheart. This is very obviously Shadowheart, in my opinion. Maybe it looks a little more human than Shadowheart, but she is half-elf, so there is a human-like nature to her, but you can tell it's her almost immediately. And there have been a lot of good Baldur's Gate 3 character creation out there. I saw a good Astarion one as well. So for those of you who love Baldur's Gate 3, there's some fantastic things you can do in this character creator. And what about this one? Does anyone know who this character is? I'll give you a hint. It just works. Yep, if you guessed Todd Howard, you got this one correct. Again, this looks very, very similar to Todd Howard. I've actually seen Todd Howard, met Todd Howard in person. It looks quite like him. It's not a perfect resemblance of him, but for a character creator and probably someone didn't spend too long on this, you can see how close they got to him already. And as soon as I say Todd Howard, you're like, yeah, that looks like Todd Howard. So another very recognizable character here. And what about this character? Anyone know who this character is? If you're familiar with Lord of the Rings, then you'll get this almost immediately. This is Frodo Baggins. It's not quite a perfect striking rendition of Elijah Wood, but it looks very, very similar to him. And again, as soon as I say it, you're like, yep, that's who it is. So again, really, really well done here. So there are tons more things you can do with this character creator out there in terms of making your character who you want. I just wanted to illustrate some of the amazing things that, users who have been using the character creator early have done. It's absolutely outstanding what their creativity has accomplished. And I kind of wanted to use this as a tool to not only spotlight some of the things the community's done that are amazing, but also inspire people to try and spend some time in the character creator and really work on their character and try and make it exactly how they want, whether that's trying to make it look just like yourself or maybe some character that you really love, and really get that character and your pawns exactly how you want. People have been asking for more Dragon Dogma 2 coverage on this channel, and this is one that I thought was very interesting. It's not something we normally do, and obviously we're going to have more Dragon Dogma 2 coverage moving forward. Moving into the launch of the game on the 22nd, we will be covering Rise of Ronin and Dragon's Dogma at the same time. I don't know if we'll be doing as much Rise of the Ronin coverage as we will Dragon's Dogma. It seems like everyone really, really wanted Dragon's Dogma 2 coverage on this channel. So odds are we're going to be doing a hefty amount of that moving forward. So I hope you guys enjoy that. So are there other characters out there that I missed that you've seen around that have been fantastic? Are you working on your character during character creation with the character editor? Have you downloaded it or you're messing around with it? Let me know what you think so far.